Wait, is my mic working? Yes. Okay, just checking. Sorry. Sorry. Doing something very... yeah, I just want to see something. Sorry. A very different stream today. Very different. Because I had some ideas for something, but I want to wait to do some of it till next week. So just give me a second here because I need to figure out something. Jesus. How to clear recent file. Wait, is that for Windows? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, that's what I want to do is take this off. I'm using Photoshop today, so this will not be my iPad. I recently, just as some background, I recently did a photo walk a few hours away in a town in Northern California called Petaluma. And if any of you are fans of the Twit network, you may have seen posting about that. That's file handling here. And I'm just looking through something. Recent list. Yeah, I don't need a recent list. There we go. Perfect. All right. Excellent. So I went up there and shot about 200 images or so, along with the community manager for Twit, Aunt Pruitt, when we walked around for a few hours. And basically, I put some of those images up into the Twit Discord, so if you're in there, you can see them. But you'll see them in a minute here. And let's see. So, okay, so I'm going to take his suggestions here, and I'm going to go by them. All right, so let me save as, save desktop. Sorry, I should have saved these beforehand, but I'm just giving you background anyway. And so he had some suggestions because he is a professional photographer, and I posted, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 images, and asked for his photo editing opinion. His photography asked him to take his photography skills and bring them to bear on them as far as his, what would it be called, photo processing or post-processing. And based on that, I'm going to look at something. No, I'm not going to alter it. And so he had some suggestions for most of the photos. There was only one where he said basically he didn't care for the photo, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Instead, I'll focus on the one. Well, I could show you. It really doesn't matter. I'll show you the ones. Okay, so let's see that and take his suggestions and do a little bit of photo retouching, which is something I do a lot of, but I usually don't do it on the stream because I usually draw on the stream. I'm usually doing my artwork on there. And so this isn't really something that would normally fall under what I typically do as an art stream. But since he had the suggestion, look at something where he said that one. Full color. Okay. On that one, there's no real work to be done. Let's see. Black and white. Okay. Let me grab that one. We'll do a black and white conversion. So I'll basically read each of his notes on it so that you can see them, or hear them, see them. And then I'll do those alterations as part of the stream. Probably for maybe 40 minutes or so. My wife is on her way back home from a hike. And so when she gets home, we're going to eat. So she should be home probably in about an hour. So I'll go for about 40 minutes or so. Center to screen. That's it. Got it. All right. So, all right. You should now be seeing. Oh yeah, Photoshop with the dock missing. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you should now be seeing Photoshop. Sorry, that took how long have I been streaming? Probably 4 minutes of the 7 I've been streaming at least. Okay, so his first note is I'm going to open the picture here. So let's open. Let me just check here. Okay, you can see that. So let's go here. Or actually, what I should do is, let me see something. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let me do this, and this is easier. And say open with Photoshop. We should get a picture in a moment. There we are. Okay. So his note on this particular image, which was one of the first ones that I took. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Sorry. Go back to Discord. Here we are. his note on the cigar shot, which is this one that we're looking at, I would have gotten rid of the Ricibisi, which is the restaurant's name. Ricibisi, I should be able to say it's an Italian name. Ricibisi sign, either with AI or Photoshop skills or cropped out. I like the subjects in the lower left for we're going to type. Okay. Okay, some of his notes were about lenses, which I just don't have a lot of lenses. In fact, I only have one lens for that camera, so that one I can't do anything with. However, he made two suggestions. One, to do some cropping to bring him into focus, or to do essentially well, we're going to try a content-aware fill on this area, which is essentially a lightweight AI tool, which was his other suggestion. So let's see how it does with this. Photoshop's very hit or miss with this stuff. So let's see what it chooses to do. Wow, that's not bad. Let's see. So that's, geez. Now see, that's an example where Photoshop, I mean, don't get me wrong, it has a lot of things to sample, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now this is probably, I don't have Ant's particular taste down flat, but I have a hunch, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess here, that he would find that this is too much empty, or this is too big up here. And my suspicion is that he would say that since, well, maybe I'll blend my own thought processes here. If it was night and this lamp was throwing off some light, it probably would have been great to have him directly under it, like that. All right, well, you can't see that, sorry. No, it's fine. But it's not, and I don't know that the top adds much. So let's go ahead and let's knock this. This is fine. I mean, that's so good. Hold on. Before we do that, let's zoom in on this a bit, just so you can see. I mean, that's really good. That's really good. I mean, you can sort of... Well, no, I don't even know. I was going to say there's some dark area. I don't know how well you can see the cursor when I'm doing here. But let me do it like this. Let me just use ye old bear. Oh, I don't have the shapes in this one. Well, whatever, the bear can indicate. I'll use the bear. I don't care. Let's do a bear. Why is the bear not filled? Sure, create the shape. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I did like that. Oh, it's underneath. Or it's on top, I mean. So get rid of that one. So I'm going to use the tiger as a cursor. So, actually, you can... Oh, I'm an idiot. Right? So there's the sign. So you can see that what it did was it took some of the dark and moved it in there. But that's really... I don't need the tiger because I can do this. So you see the difference there? I mean, that's really good if we just do that. And Photoshop can be really good. It can also be really bad. But we'll just... This is slowly going to disappear. I mean, that's really good blending. That's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this down because I really have no problem with what it did there. Let's zoom out a little bit. And my suspicion is that because he said he liked it in the lower third. So we are going to want some headroom in here, but I don't know that we need all of that. So if we come down like that, maybe tighten this in a little bit, maybe something like that. Now he may disagree, but I think that's a better version of the image. So I'm actually going to, so that's an easy one. I mean, that really, Photoshop did all the work for me. To try to do that, you could do it with the stamp tool. Boy, would it take a while. I mean, because you would have to go in, and this is how it was done before you had something like Content Aware Fill. You would really have to retouch this stuff. I mean, I'll give you an example. And I've done this, and it takes for friggin' ever. Like, let's say I didn't like these dark leaves. Okay, I'll come over here, and I'll sample lighter leaves, and you start putting these in, right? And, you know, and of course I don't have the brush at the right size for what I'm doing, but you have to be careful. See, you have to like blend that. But if you don't do it right, you can tell. Actually, okay, this is a bad example because this actually looks pretty good. But this is the way you would have to do it before, is you would do something like this. And you would just go in and you would want to look for weird areas where you could tell that there was a tool applied, which honestly, that's shockingly good for how sloppy I did that, if I'm honest about it. That's pretty friggin' good. I mean, I could probably just stop right there, and most people, if you were to look at that, you wouldn't know. You would just think there was a bright spot, but of course, if I undo all... Oh, crap. Well, I went too far back. Sorry. Redo. I forgot I did the clone stamp in one shot. So see, anybody with a skilled eye would see this right here. You can tell that's not right. So that's where you would have to come up here and try to blend around a little bit. just like that, see? And you just want it enough that there's no obviousness. Like, see, that's an obvious spot. So I would have to drop the brush down, come up in there. You know, just little things that when you get used to looking at this stuff, you'll see it right away. Once you get used to seeing it, you see it. If you're not, then you won't. But see, you can all, that's not bad right there. See, like these little dark spots, kind of fill those in. And you just want to make it look more natural. Okay, well, you can also see all the streaks where I didn't do it really well. Okay, see, I went a little too far on that one. I should have just left that as is. In fact, I'll do this. And just leave it like that. That's fine. Come up in here, tuck that in. Okay, see, fill these in. Like, these stripes would be very obvious to somebody like Ant who does this stuff. You would see it in 2 seconds. And zoomed in, it's even, if you zoom out, the stripes, no, actually, you can't really see them, but they're there. I mean, when you look close, if you were to print this or something, you would see those stripes immediately. So you can't have those there. You can't have it. But really, it's not bad. I mean, that's actually far better than I expected for how sloppy I did that, which is amazing. But that's also because it's a very repeating pattern. So I have the benefit of the fact that it's repeating patterns. You can see, you know, some of the color variations. Some people wouldn't even see that. And that's fine. That's not to say there's something wrong if you can't see it. In fact, that's good for people who have to do this stuff all the time. But see that? Zoom out. You know, that just looks like a bright spot. It's unnatural, but I'm going to go ahead and take all that back out because the content-aware fill, well, that area, I don't think it even filled that area. But that's what I'm saying. So let's just redo the crop. And I think we're just going to leave it like, I think that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and do a file and a save a copy. And we'll save it to the desktop as edited. So let's save. Now sorry, that was my phone going off in the background. Delivered? Amazon delivered something yet? Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't know what delivered. What did they deliver? What did Amazon deliver? I was not expecting anything today. What did you guys deliver? Sorry. Wow, that was really fast. Oh, it's the sauce for my dog's food. Okay. No, I'm good. I don't care. He did not make any notes about the color, which looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and just save that as is. Okay, so that photo is done. Did I do anything? No, don't save to the original. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is the Brick Shot Boost the Vibrance. Okay, I know which one that is. That's this one. Let's open this up. Now, here's something funny. He's saying boost the vibrance. I don't do a lot of this type of editing. So to be honest, I'm not really sure where vibrance is. Is there oh, vibrance. Obviously, see, my photo editing is not usually with color. Mine is to graft images together or to make funny, stupid Photoshops. So I don't do a lot of this stuff. So he says boost vibrance. Let's boost it by 15. Jeez, I can't even tell. What? Is it even doing anything? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's subtle. Okay. Jeez. It's actually really hard to see that until you really start looking. God, I don't even know if that's going to come through on the video. It's so subtle. Saturation will, yeah. Ooh, he didn't say saturation, but I kind of like the saturation. Let's see. All right, let's turn these off. Man, that's not bad looking. It's a lot of vibrance, though. What happens if I push it all the way up? Okay, now it's looking like a nuclear wasteland. No, we don't want that. This is not intentionally bad. Here we go. Ooh, that's like a badly calibrated television. I think I like the saturation at 10 and the vibrance at 50. I think that pushes everything just to the point of being unnatural. Now, I'm not doing the raw files in these. I do have them, but they're not on this machine. This is just quick and dirty stuff based on his suggestions. I like that. That's just on the edge of being too much, I think. He may actually say I shouldn't have done it that much. I will not be shocked. Is there a way to center this thing on the screen? I don't know if there's a way to center I don't know if there's a way to center things like that. Oh, I guess it's not really centered. Okay, there we go. But I think it looks good. So we're going to do a save copy of that. And this is 12. So I'll just say 12 edited. I mean, these are relatively easy changes. This may be a very short stream. Okay, so then his next suggestion is on the wave shot. Oh, that one was just a... Okay, that one he didn't actually have suggestions for. I'll show it to you. This one, what he had said was that he wished that the wave wasn't cut off. Which, yeah, I really wanted to shoot between these beams. But this was also when there was another photographer taking pictures of him. And so I just was trying to get these quick. Because sometimes when, especially with photos, I mean, this is true with drawing too, but it's really true with photos. I have these ideas and I just want to get the shots off. And I don't always properly compose them because I'm not a photographer. Just to be honest about it, I'm not a photographer. You know what? I'm gonna play around with something on this, which this is because I'm playing. What do I care? So if I do this and I do a warp on it, because I don't like that the beams aren't straight. I have a real thing with symmetry, or not symmetry, with like the straightness of things. So see, like just subtly trying to straighten these a little bit, which I used to be really. I'm leaning forward. I don't know if you can hear the fact that I'm leaning forward. I guess you can't. How would you hear it? But I used to be very pretentious about don't edit your photos. You edit your photos, you should really point it out. Now I'm more like, I'll play around, make the image that you want it to be, but I don't think there's a way to do what I'm trying to do here. Because I'm trying to straighten these poles, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna end up being like a weird looking image. But I wish, yeah, forget it, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna achieve what I want, so forget it. Okay, so he had no notes on that one. So next one. The next one is the alley shot, which he didn't care for. Actually, you know what? The alley shot didn't do anything. You know what? Yeah, but you know what? I'll show you this one because Ant has a big thing for straight horizons, which I totally am the same way. I love the idea of, and unfortunately, you know, if you don't do photography, and I am certainly no expert, so me explaining this is basically like a child explaining nuclear fission because they understand just 0.1% of what's going on. But there is a natural warping to objects that comes from lenses, because lenses are not, I don't know, do they make square lenses? I don't think they do. I think they have to be circular, but I actually don't know. But generally, cameras warp things. So see, here's this, and plus nature is not straight either, but if I could, I would have all these trees like ramrod straight up and down. But the other big thing is the horizon, which is pretty straight. I actually didn't think it was, so I was messing with this image, but if you look, let's zoom in so you can see this. I actually got this pretty straight. I mean, it's not perfectly. I could technically do a rotation on this if I wanted to be exceptionally anal about it, which honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to be, because I am exceptionally anal about things. Let me try one. Too much. Let's back it down to 0.75. Like that. Now that's, see, I'm straightening it against this railing. So see that? That very top, I have to do that so you can see it. It's barely, it is literally 0.75 degrees of alteration, but now it is actually truly straight. But you see, now we have the white spots. That's okay though. Why not? We're playing in here. Let's play in here. What's the point? This stream's not supposed to be, you know, heavy duty. Now I could do one of two things. I could try to do the content aware fill and see what Photoshop does with these areas. Now my suspicion, I'm going to guess, I think this area may give it some trouble. I don't think this one will at all. The upper right, I think, will be fine. Upper left may be troublesome. And if I had to guess, I would say that the lower right, or sorry, upper left and lower right are going to be the areas that Photoshop struggles a little bit with. Maybe, I could be wrong. I mean, there is lots of area, but it tends to get weird about stuff like this. Let's take a look. Let's see what it does. Well, that shows what I know, because that looks pretty good. Yeah, that came out pretty good. I mean, there's one little bit of weirdness right there. So let's see, where is it sampling that from? Let's see what it's trying to capture there. Let's undo it. Where is it grabbing that from? Now you'll see, if you've never used this, see how it's telling me where it's trying to sample from? Now that looks like what it's doing is grabbing some of this grate, but no, it doesn't look like that. That little piece almost looks like, well, interesting. I don't know what it's grabbing there. I wonder if it's grabbing this. No, it's not grabbing that, so I'm gonna do that, because that was okay. Oh, Nope, it's not grabbing that. It's grabbing that from somewhere. It's sampling this from somewhere. Where is it grabbing this from? Oh, let me back out. I don't think it'd be sampling from that. It isn't. I don't think this will do it. No. It's almost like it's the sand. That's what I think it is. Oh, there, I got it. I found it. Whatever it was, I got it. Because see, it disappeared. Oh, here. I'll do this in case you didn't notice it. See how it's there? So if I zoom in over here, and I'll get close to this. See this little chunk here where the hand is? It is the sand. So it was partially the sand. So, yep, there. That did it. The only bad part is that grate looks like it's a little overextended to me, but I don't know that anybody would even see that. So I don't know if I care. I mean, obviously, I know it's there. Yeah, see, it's extended the grate a little bit more than if you really paid attention it should. Now, I could actually fake that out, and what I could do is, if I merge it down, I'm going to merge it down because I think it's fine otherwise. I don't think there's any other major problem. There's a little bit of blur there, but nobody would see that, and the tree stuff's fine. But what I could do is, if I really, really, really wanted to be anal about it, again, me, I could do this. Just sort of fake it out. Where, I mean, I can't do that because then you can see it, but see that? That basically faked the correct, well, what I'm calling the correct depth. Although, I don't know, maybe now that looks a little short. So maybe I did a little too much. Let's put it back. It's like it's just a hair too much. But so little that, honestly, it doesn't matter. But that looks better. And that's nothing. Nobody's going to be looking at that. That's one of those things where you sit there and go, who's looking at it? Nobody but you, moron. Nobody's going to look at that. Nobody cares. I care. So, whatever. Sorry. By the way, it says there's a viewer. Just tell me, can you see Photoshop? I mean, it's showing me in the preview window, but I've never tried this before. So I'm assuming this is working. I hope this is working. It should, because, I mean, it's got to be working. I guess I could open Twitch on my phone and check, but it's fine. Honestly, I'm sure it's working. Okay, this I thought would be easy. And it is. Photoshop's not going to stumble on that. It's got so much material to pull from that's fine. Now, let's see. So let's go ahead and knock that down. Let's go ahead and see what this does. You know, now that I look at it, there's so much tree. The only place it might get caught up is at the top where the sky is. That's where it might get a little lost. So it's weird. Photoshop does exceptionally well times where I don't think it will, and then other times it gets lost. Okay, see? It did. See that? See this here? There's a very harsh line right there, which is, you know, the rest of it I figured would get right. You know, you can kind of see if you're, I mean, I'm at 400%. And I can see that there's a line there. You know, some people might notice that. Most people wouldn't. Now, there's a couple ways around that. One is, where is the, no, wrong tool. Where is, there it is. I could take the smudge tool and I could just kind of, you know, I could BS it a little bit. See that? That makes that look more natural because the line's not there. You know, wherever I see that line, I could just do a little bit of, because the leaves you can't really, it's not high definition anyway. See, there's ways to fudge this stuff. Would anybody see that? No, they'll see that. See? Now that's fine. That's fine. Now you can't even see that line anymore. That's really what you're trying to do, is just erase something that's obvious to the eye. Like this is weird. That little blotch there is no good. So we're gonna get that. Yeah, see and even that doesn't look natural. So if we just soften that, it's not as bad. Then you could just chalk that up to, you know, some light bleed or whatever. So you just want to get rid of obvious stuff, obvious lines, obvious signs of alteration. Now there's ways that any professional would be able to tell this image was altered, but most people see like that doubling there, that's bad. That looks fake. And that line, see, but all you gotta do is just push it a little bit, just push it a bit. Just a tad. Not that, that's gotta go. That's you ain't covering that up. I mean, and this is weird that it would screw that up to me. That's, I mean, whatever. It's doing a lot of, don't get me wrong. It's amazing that this thing does this stuff. But that's a weird edge to leave. So what I think we're going to go ahead and opt for is something like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to push that edge right out. See that? Now you don't really notice it as much. Oh, I hear my phone ringing. So hold on, let me check. That is a spam call, so I don't care. I thought that might be my wife. It's not. That is a spam caller. Okay, so see that? Sorry if you can hear that in the background. Hopefully it's not picking up too badly. But see, that's all you got to do to fix something like that. Real easy, right? So what does that leave? What that edge? Oh, is this the other edge I thought? Is this the edge I thought I might have problems with? Maybe it was this edge. No, it was upper left and lower right. I remember. This it should be fine with, because most of this is blue sky, and the rest it can dummy it with the trees. So I'll bet that's okay. Let's try it. There's a little, yeah, there's some ugliness in there, but not enough that I think it matters. Again, smudging's gonna save this, because you're just trying to break the even lines. Like, your eye will pick those lines up. You may not think it, but it will. Now see, I could just make that look like the branches arced a bit. I mean, I can do the best job of that, but I'm probably going to trim this a little bit anyway. See, that's really bizarre. But you can cover that up too. God, see, these are weird edges to have. And like that's awful. I don't even know why it would do that and think that that's all right. But, you know, again, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting for me, so I'm not going to really complain. Things that look obvious to me, well, I'm not a machine. So the machine like that can't stay like that. I mean, that just can't. So we're going to go ahead and merge this down, and we're just going to go ahead and do that and just blur that up a bit, and it's fine. Just knock that edge in. Let's knock that up a little bit. That's better. I'm just looking for, like, see, that's repeating. That's really bad. It's really bad. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this area here. I'm going to re-content aware this fill area and see what it does. Curious. Jeez, I can't even tell what it's doing. What is it doing? Let's take that out. Oh, I see what it did. Okay. Oh, I don't want that. Jeez, that might actually be worse. Yee. You know what? We're gonna crop it. We're gonna crop that, because honestly, it's not like I'm gonna lose much. So we're gonna cover up that bad content aware fill like that. Done. Oh, we're all good now. Okay. So now, this is where you can start doing interesting things too. What we could do here is, because why not? I mean, I'm in here anyway. So we got some people this is the other individual who is taking pictures. As you can tell, he's holding a camera, and we've got some people walking here. Now, I don't ever really use, but I know Photoshop does have not bad, it's like removal tool or something. Is it this? No, where is that thing? There is here it is, remove tool. I'm going to try this thing out. I've never tried this. My apologies, Victor. I'm not doing this because you're necessarily ruining the shot. I just want to see what Photoshop does, because I don't ever use this tool. I've used it a few times on really small stuff. I've never really actually tried to erase a person. So I don't know if it can even do this. I don't know if this is something it's even intended to do. This is like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I'm sure if Mr. Pruitt were to watch this, he'd sit here and go, "You're wasting time in this stream doing this work on a photo that I don't even think is all that good." See, but I like photos like this. Now let's see what we get. This is more of curiosity. The images. Oh, jeez, I forgot to. All right, my fault. I forgot to merge it down before I did all this. Oops. Well, whatever. We're just playing around anyway. I'm not really worried about. I'm just curious if it'll even do it. I don't know whether it's going to know how to get rid of this. I mean, this is just the interesting part is this is just another version of the content aware fill, really. But I think with the removal tool, I'm sure in terms of what the machine learning is doing and the program is doing, it's approaching it in a different way, because now it's trying to subtract something and fill in as opposed to overfilling. Let's see. I'm curious. I will be very impressed if it can make that look good. I think the people in the background will be easier for it. I think removing that person, we'll see. Wow, it did a pretty good job. That's not bad. This is 200%. At 100%, you might notice this, but honestly, that's pretty good. And I'm wondering if I do the same tool Man, that's shockingly good. And I do that. What does that do? I don't know if it knows how to... Yeah, it does. Look at that. So does it know this is a shadow? Does it know how to get rid of that? I mean, that could be mistaken for dirt. That's not even bad. I just want to see what it does. Wow, look at that. That could be mistaken for dirt. If you didn't know a person was there, you wouldn't necessarily interpret that as a shadow. That could be, man, that is impressive. Now let's see how it does with the people in the background. Because Ant likes to photograph people. I don't. I like things, not people, when it comes to photography. I am much more about landscapes and objects, as, you know, if you look at my photos, you would see that very quickly. And corners. I love the corners of things. I just like corners of stuff. Let's see if it can handle... Wow. That's pretty good. I mean, that's... Oh, you know what? Well, so, hey, whatever. Whatever, we're playing around here. Messing around. Let's see. All right, here's a big one. The car. Can it get rid of the car because that pole is there? Will it know how to get rid of the car? I don't know. I mean, it's doing well so far, I gotta tell you. I mean, look. Adobe's business practices aside, I will never shut up about how much I love Photoshop, and I do. And this is... Okay, no, I can't handle that. There's probably a way to make that happen. But you know what? Honestly, I'm okay with the car. Now, even though it's blasphemy to some people, auto-tone. I always like messing around with the auto stuff just to see what it does. I don't know. I don't know if this is improving anything. Auto-color. Huh. Oops, whoops. Hold on. I might actually like the... I kind of like that. I don't mind that. That's all right. I'm digging that. Let's go to the curve tool. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix much with this. But I'm just curious what punching up some of the contrast. I don't know if that's worth it. You know, I think that's fine. I'm gonna do that and see if that... I doubt this will somehow save the image for him, but it might just be interesting. It was 27 to see his reaction to it. So let's say edit it on that one. Okay, so let's see. What does that leave? No, don't save on the original. I like to have the originals as comparisons. Okay, alley shot, Petaluma Pete, more contrast or more exposure. Okay, I got him there. Let's open that one up. That's this one here. Okay, so more contrast or more exposure. Well, let's go into the curve, shall we? Interesting. I gotta be careful with this stuff. Well, you know, let's see. I want to see what the auto thinks to do. What's auto contrast do? It doesn't appear to have done anything. Now, I know I'm not doing this the way... isn't there like an adjustment layer? I know he's probably, if Ann is actually ever going to watch this, he'll probably be screaming about how I'm doing this, because I just remembered there's something called an adjustment layer and I'm not using it, and I think that's what you're supposed to be using. Oh, brightness contrast. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember this now. So how does it? Oh, brightness. Oh, right there. More contrast, like that. Oh yeah, I kind of see what he's saying. Brightness. Ooh, okay, wait a minute. I just gotta be careful because it could blow it out so easily. I wonder if that's what he meant. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? There's more. You know what? I'm gonna do the thing I was talking about before. But I think on this it might work. So now I'm going to. Let's go ahead and there. Now I've made it one layer. So let's do. Cause see the building, and like it doesn't have straight lines. I'm gonna do a slight skew on this to straighten those lines a little bit, just like that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Does that straighten that line out? That's pretty straight. Ooh, that's pretty straight. Okay. So yeah, I see. I get really hung up on straight lines. I do. I get hung up on them. So I'm not even going to content aware fill it. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to bring this down a bit. I'm going to tighten that a little bit. And I'm going to bring this in so we get rid of the white there and that. Let's see what that looks like. I'm good with that. I will see what his opinion is. Now, see, here's another one where, you know what? I'm going to try something. Because I don't like people. I mean, in my pictures. Well, I generally distrust people. I wouldn't say I don't like them. I generally don't I distrusted a lot of people. That's just me, though. And so let's see, because these people, to me, are kind of... The idea of somebody playing a piano to an empty street is kind of interesting. Plays up that intrigue angle that Ant was talking about, where he said there's a mystery to the photo. So let's see what that does. Wow. Wow, pretty good. That looks weird, though. Can we get rid of that? Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. I mean, again, if you knew it's there, knowing it's there to see the picture makes it different. But if you don't know, I don't know if you really noticed that or not. I don't know if that's really tremendously weird that spot is there, because streets do have discoloration in weird areas. So let's see. Man, not bad. See, then you can just chip away at this. Just a little pieces. I mean, if you really looked close, you would be able to tell. And of course, if I can get rid of that car, but I don't think it's going to handle that. I'm even going to try and get rid of these people in the background. I don't even want these people here. Boom! They're gone. Look at that. Oh, there's a person walking there. Although I don't know that you'd even notice that. Oh, well, they're gone now, so they're not walking anywhere. See? Now that, I like that. It's a guy playing to empty streets. Interesting. I like it. It's weird. It's wacky. I like it. Dig it. Ideally, there'd be a blurred Godzilla just casually strolling behind the background. But I'm not gonna go that far overboard. I'm not gonna go that. But honestly, there's a part of me now that wants to go find a picture of Godzilla, put it in the way background, and like haze it out so that you almost didn't notice it unless you really looked close. But you know, then I come off like a maniac. All right, so 33, edited, save. There we go. Excellent. We'll see what he thinks. I'm going to post these and see what his opinion is. Okay, so he's not okay. I'm not going to worry about that one. The 4911 would make black and white. All right, let's try that. That's a simple change. He's talking about this picture, which now I'm going to let you in on a secret, which I did not admit in the Discord, and now my secret shall be revealed for all. I thought I was focusing on the 1911. I completely reversed the focus. I really believed that I was focused on the 1911, and I clearly... It's so either one of two things. One, I'm just stupid, which is possible. One is I'm just a bonehead. That's one possibility. The other is that I didn't realize that I didn't have manual focus on, and I left the autofocus on, and it just did that. I have a feeling I didn't switch it to manual. I really do. I really think that's what I did. Because I remember in the viewfinder seeing the 1911 being clear. I mean, my eyes suck, but I don't think they suck that much. In any event, it doesn't matter. It still came out all right. It just came out differently. So we're going to knock that down to black and white. And we're going to go ahead and do curves. And let's play around a little bit with some of the highlights and shadows on it. Let's see, I like that. Now, he may not agree with how much I played with that, but I like it. And you know what else I'm going to do? I don't like this. I don't like that slant on the bottom. So I can pretend it's not there by cropping. And now we have it. I mean, it's okay that these lines are curved, but I don't like the bottom of the frame being curved. That bothers me. So now we've just tightened it up a little bit, and there we go. That's an easy one. That one's easy. So that's a 47 edited. Give me, whoop, 47. Okay, and that brings us to our final image of the stream, which the stream may suck. People may not be happy with this at all, which is the Petaluma picture, Petaluma artwork. I have a ton of graffiti from Petaluma. It's great. I love graffiti work. He says this one, contrast, contrast, make the colors pop. Such a cool piece of art, which I totally agree. So contrast, okay. So, you know, well, let's do the adjustment layer thing. I mean, I should start getting used to doing adjustment layers because I know that's the preferred method of doing it. So I think we're going to do two things. First is, go ahead, we're going to do the contrast. We'll punch that up, which definitely, I'm going to go to 50 on that. I'm going to make that really exaggerated. And then I'm going to do an adjustment on, let me do a new adjustment layer for vibrance. Okay. Now, if I push the vibrance up, how do we go? Ooh, we're kind of like that. I'm maxing the vibrance, but I'm going to pull the saturation down a little bit. Maybe I should do the ooh, wow, that might be too much. You know what? Let me see what happens if I just push saturation. See, that automatically looks very dull to me now. I like the harsh colors. Okay, so what we've got is a combination thing we're going to do here. So I'm going to make the saturation 20. This is the only part I'm afraid of. This red might become overpowering. So let's see. It's not bad. I think I'm going to go to 15. I'm going to leave it there. I like that. The only thing I don't like is how much it's pushing out this bin, because I really want this to be where your eye is and not to see that harsh blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer and I'm going to bring it up. Now on this layer, I'm going to try the quick and dirty option here, which is just to chop out everything that's around this bin. I want this bin to stay dull. Now that's going to be tricky because of this. So this is not going to be, I mean, I would have to spend some time to do this really well, but I think I can get the idea across. I'm not so worried about, this might be okay. I just don't want it to be, I don't want that bin to be overpowering the rest of it. So if I did that. I should do select, inverse, delete. You know what? That's fine. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, right? And in fact, I'm gonna go myself one better. On this, I'm gonna pull the saturation down even more because I want to push that. I want that bin to become very boring and dull. I want to see that. I want to push up the excitement, and it's a little bit artificial, and it is. But look at this. See that? Now look at that. Your eye naturally almost ignores that trash bin. It doesn't. You know it's there. But that, you're looking at that harsh blue right here, and I don't want you to be doing that. I want you looking up here. I want that to be the focal point. Yeah, that's it. We got it. Flatten that out. Beautiful. I think. You may disagree. I'll let you know what he thinks. So I'm going to say 100 edited. And right about, where are we on stream time? 45 minutes. Beautiful. All right. Well, I had a blast doing this because I don't normally fool around with Photoshop on streams. So I had a great time. Thank you for stopping by and watching this, whether it's live or later. I never care. But here's an example. Normally I'm drawing, but creativity takes many forms. Photoshop is perfectly good too. Feel free to mess around with Photoshop. It's just as valid. So yeah, all right. Well, that was a fun stream to do on kind of on an off time, on an off day. Mess around a little in Photoshop with some of my photography. And I actually had a good time because I love Photoshop. So I get to play around with it. Well, I've never played, I don't think I've done a stream where I've used it really. So this was a lot of fun. So enjoy your weekend here in the United States. It's a long weekend if you're watching live. So enjoy your long weekend if you get to. Hopefully you do, because I think it's a federal holiday. And spend one of these weekend days, if it's a long one or a regular one, put a little slice of creativity into your weekend somewhere, whether it's doing it yourself or experiencing it through somebody else. So thanks for stopping by this stream. Go out there and enjoy your weekend one way or another. We'll see you on the next one, and take care.